in the heart of a vast, untamed forest, where towering trees stand as silent witnesses to the passage of time, something extraordinary was about to unfold. The morning mist still clung to the earth as the sun slowly peeked over the horizon, casting a golden hue over the dense jungle. This was the kind of place where survival depended on strength, wit, and sometimes something more. Something beyond instinct. In this world of predators and prey, alliances were rare. Yet, on this particular day, in the depths of the forest, a bond was about to form that would shake the very foundation of the animal kingdom. It started with a cry, a desperate, heartbreaking cry that echoed through the trees. The sound was weak but unmistakable. The cry of a baby, alone and frightened. Not just any baby, but a baby elephant, its small body trembling beneath the weight of fear and confusion. It was a sound that no animal, regardless of its size or strength, could ignore. The elephant cub, no bigger than a large dog, had wandered away from its herd. In the wilderness, that could be a death sentence. The herd was everything: protection, guidance, and care. But in the chaotic expanse of the jungle, even the strongest of families couldn't always stay together. The cub had lost its way, and now it was alone, vulnerable, and surrounded by dangers it couldn't comprehend. Meanwhile, high up in the trees, a powerful silverback gorilla named Jengo had heard the cry. His massive frame was motionless as his sharp eyes scanned the surrounding jungle. Jengo was known for his calm demeanor and intelligence. The other creatures in the forest respected him, not just for his size, but for his wisdom. He knew the balance of life here, and he understood the ways of the jungle better than anyone. He'd seen countless animals, big and small, struggle and fight for survival. But today was different. The cry of the baby elephant pulled at something deep inside Jengo. He had never interacted with an elephant before, but something about this moment stirred his protective instincts. Without hesitation, he swung from the trees, his powerful arms propelling him forward, his eyes locked on the source of the cry. As he neared the clearing, Jengo could see the small elephant cub, its eyes wide with fear, its tiny body trembling. It stood in the middle of the forest, looking around frantically for its mother, but there was no sign of the herd. The cub's ears twitched nervously as it took slow, cautious steps, unaware of the dangers lurking in the shadows. The gorilla paused for a moment, sizing up the situation. His mind raced. He knew that the forest was filled with predators, lions, hyenas, and even leopards that roamed the territory. They would not hesitate to take advantage of a vulnerable animal like the baby elephant. Jengo had no idea how he could protect the cub, but he knew one thing for sure: he couldn't just leave it to fend for itself. Jengo approached the cub cautiously, making no sudden moves. His massive figure loomed over the tiny elephant, but instead of attacking or frightening it, he knelt down, his large, gentle eyes locking with the cub's. There was a quiet understanding between them, a moment of recognition that transcended species. The gorilla reached out a hand, and the cub, still wary, took a hesitant step toward him. For a moment, the jungle was silent. There was no growl, no rustling in the trees. The world seemed to hold its breath as Jengo extended his hand further. Slowly, with trembling legs, the elephant cub reached up and nuzzled his palm. It was a moment of vulnerability, but also of trust. The gorilla, though not his natural protector, was now the cub's only hope. Jengo gently took the cub by the trunk, guiding it with surprising tenderness. He led it to a small hidden cave he had discovered many seasons ago. It was safe there, sheltered from the sun and predators. The cub, though frightened and confused, followed Jengo without resistance. The bond that had formed in that quiet, emotional moment in the forest was strong, but their journey was far from over. Word spread quickly through the jungle, and soon the danger was close. A pack of hungry hyenas had picked up the scent of the vulnerable elephant cub. They knew this was their chance. A baby elephant alone in the jungle was a rare and easy target. Led by their cunning leader, the hyenas circled the cave, their yellow eyes glowing with hunger. Jengo knew that he could not protect the cub forever. The hyenas were skilled hunters, and there were too many of them. Yet, the silverback gorilla had no intention of giving up the fight. He stood tall at the entrance of the cave, his muscles taut, his eyes filled with fierce determination. The hyenas approached cautiously, sizing up their target. They didn't understand the bond between the gorilla and the elephant cub, but they knew one thing. They weren't about to let such an opportunity slip away. With a snarl, the pack leader lunged forward, her teeth bared. But Jengo was faster. In a blur of motion, he swung his massive arm, knocking the hyena leader to the ground. The other hyenas hesitated, unsure whether to attack or retreat. Jengo's roar echoed through the forest, a warning to any who dared challenge him. For a moment, the hyenas paused, their instincts telling them to flee. But hunger and desperation clouded their judgment. They attacked. It was a fierce battle, but Jengo fought with a ferocity that stunned the pack. He swung his fists with terrifying precision, sending hyenas flying with each blow. He wasn't just fighting for his life. He was fighting for the baby elephant that had come to trust him, a creature he had no obligation to protect, but whom he could not abandon. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the remaining hyenas retreated. Their hunger was no match for Jengo's strength and resolve. The silverback stood victorious, his chest heaving with exertion, his eyes never leaving the entrance to the cave. The hyenas had learned a valuable lesson that day. Jengo would not back down. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the forest, the baby elephant lay safe in the cave. It had been a day of fear, but also of survival. It had found an unlikely protector in Jengo, and together they had faced the dangers of the jungle. The bond between them, forged in the fires of battle, would never be broken. In the days that followed, the baby elephant slowly regained its strength. Jengo remained by its side, a constant protector and guardian. The cub no longer wandered the jungle alone. It had found a home and a protector in the most unlikely of places. The forest, once a place of danger and uncertainty, had become a sanctuary. And as for the hyenas, they would think twice before challenging Jengo again. The forest had its own way of ensuring justice was served, through strength, courage, and a willingness to protect those who could not protect themselves. If you were moved by this incredible story of courage and compassion, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more unbelievable animal tales. Let's share the magic of nature together.